So costuming, you guys already told me a tiny bit about it, but I want a little bit more. Who made them?
In this case, it's pretty straightforward. The two main characters are, in cottage wear, basically. Well, I see what you're saying because there's another costume coming up. But
That's the
our
one I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, I'll give a quick shout out. Our female lead is wearing a shirt that says Cultivate on it. That's the Cultivate Festival. It's a festival that's been going on for 10 years in Port Hope, and we're their videographers. So that was a shout out for them. The costume at the end is a creature, is what I'll say. A sci-fi creature reveals themselves towards the end of the short, and it's all actually isn't it all Amazon stuff? Really, we sort of made that one now, with the exception of the creature has a prop, which is a staff that has like kind of multi tool that is used
Yes.
for a bunch of somewhat nefarious things. That was designed and created by a very good friend of mine named Nick Marcuse, and I think his son Ben also helped. Nick is a guy that I've known for I don't know 25 years, something like that, and more than that. Went to grade school with his brother, and Nick said to me, he said, I'm a maker. I have always wanted to make props for movies. And this is the philosophy that we took throughout the making of this whole show. If someone said to us, we've always wanted to do something, we said, okay, here's your opportunity. And so I went into Nick's shop in his backyard and he made the staff. In fact, it's right here beside me. I'm not going to bother with it, but it's there. It's
So
there. I
who
trust
is
me.
in the costume?
So
That
costume the
was
number of people, but who's
Really?
first?
it ended up being a number of people because they were like insert shots, but for the most part, it was my niece Piper, who was one of the girls that sang Colin Carvey's theme song at the end of Colin Carvey's Long
There
Halloween.
we go.
Yeah, so we needed someone of the right like stature, right? Like you don't want someone too tall. You want to fit that what that character is, right? There's sort of an aesthetic. So it's Aaron's niece, and then there's we have someone else who was we did some reshoots, so we have some feet played by another person, a hand by another person. It became a character by committee, but primarily Piper. Yeah,
You played the alien's hand at one point, I
on the
believe.
hand in one bit. Yeah.
I love it. Shooting at night on Rice Lake, okay? I know there's no lighting here at all. You can't even argue it. This is all you guys.
Yeah. So, well, that it's all us, but in actual fact, it's all our my co-DOP is a guy named Lee Foster and his company Foster Films. He was our lighting tech, and he brought all the light in. He had big ideas about how we should do it, and I would give him the big shout outs for him are that night shoot, which a lot of big blue kind of classical looking moonlight, but he also lit the scene where they have an argument and all of the appliances start to shake. And that scene I think is maybe the most beautiful scene in the movie. It like really really nice, sort of looks like sunset, like dusk. And yeah, it's all Lee Foster.
Yeah, and big credit to Lee because he would have ideas for lights and where we each had 1,000 things in our mind and we'd be like, yeah, whatever you think, just go do it, right? And then we'd be like getting ready to the next scene, be like, no guys, like you need to have this one thing here. And he turned on like, okay, you were right. It's a good look.
I mean, like our tendency, because we work so quickly, and we have a tendency to also design the movies so that we can work quickly and maybe get away with not so much lighting. And he said, no, if you do this, it elevates it. And so, that's exactly it. There's the value there, the value of
Hey,
our friend.
from near the end, is there CGI here?
There's no CGI. No, there's some
Nope.
like computer. We use the computer to cut things out, and like there's some technology that you might be talking about
Yes.
that's actually a model. So
Oh, okay.
we had a friend of ours. His name is Mike Payette. Mike was a model maker, a professional model maker, or in that realm in Toronto back when they used to make models for movies instead of CG. And he worked on movies like Jason X. That's the big one that he talks about. And
I've seen
so
it.
once again, I said, who do we have at our disposal that might be interested in doing this? And Mike said, yeah, I'm all over it. So that's like some sort of like tiki. It's like a tiki dish of some sort that he then added all the technology to, and it's a spaceship. I don't mind saying that. It's a spaceship.
Yeah. And then again, another one of the elements that when we set up in my basement, we did a day of like green screen shoots, and it's that, and it's like It's on a it actually rotates, like it's built practically to rotate. So it's one of us it's me holding it up and just spinning it around, and it actually lights up too, like all the
Actually, you know
yeah, you
what?
can see in the background
You
there.
can see it in the background of my shot
Oh,
there.
I can now.
Yeah.
Yes, I
But
do
it's
see
really
it.
cool to like be able to like the light it lights up practically, which is like super cool. Yeah, it's just fun to use that stuff.
Okay. Whose home movies are these?
Haha, that's sick.
Oh, this is a great question. So, yeah, there's some home movies used in sort of a. So this scene is inspired by the movies of Ken Russell. So Ken Russell, you
Oh
probably
my
know, is
God.
doing.
I know who Ken Russell is.
Yeah, yeah. So Tommy is like the big one, the Who, right? But he
Yeah, but
also
that's not
made
the crazy one,
well, the one that I love the most is Altered States. That's the one that
which is one I have not seen. I know which
it's a
one you're talking.
it's a movie that is like batshit crazy, but at the same time like
But
really romantic
it's a
and
Ken
lovely.
Russell film. You know you're watching a Ken
Yeah.
Russell film.
You know
There's
what?
Right,
no
I'll
right.
admit
saying
too.
that.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen Alternates either, and Aaron actually gave everyone the homework. The one task of two movies to watch. It was Altered States and the first of the Before trilogy.
No, it was
Oh,
three. Can I
best
can I got
movie
it.
Oh,
ever.
sorry.
So the three movies, and this gives you a good sense of what the style of this movie is. It was the first of the Before trilogy.
Fantastic
Oh no,
film.
it might have been the second of the Before trilogy. Doesn't matter.
Still
It was
fantastic.
Altered States, and it was a Matter of Life and Death by Powell and Pressburger. Those were the three
I'm
movies I
sure
said.
I've
Everyone,
seen. I'd have to check. I've seen a good
yeah.
chunk of their catalog.
Well, that's about a couple where the guy dies, and he has to make his case to the heavenly court about whether or not he should stay on Earth
I
to be
have
with
seen
his.
it. I have
And so
seen
the
it.
idea it's that romantic but with like a big larger than life element thing that we're doing in this that was inspired by that. But the home movies, here's the answers. There's a big trip scene based on inspired by Ken Russell. The home movies were stuff that I shot new on a friend's DV camera so that we had specific story points. They're Aidan's home movies. So that's our producer here that we're talking to. There are home movies from our lead actor, Taylor. And there are home movies from, we had a specific editor hired just to do that sequence, a guy named Mike Mooring, who's a filmmaker from Peterborough. And it was his fiance's home movies. So it's a collection of all of them. And the coolest thing is if you look closely, the home movies are supposed to represent um, kind of other relationships and other life moments that maybe
Yes.
the sci-fi creature is collecting. And the coolest thing is the ones that our actor Taylor Beatty gave us are actually Port Hope home movies. So if you look in the background, it's Port Hope, and that's it. Just adds another element to this that if you know where to look, there's deep, kind of rich tapestry going on here.
Okay. You've just perfectly going to hit my next question. The Ganarastra Hotel, which you knew I was going to ask about.
Sure, yeah.
Because
The
I
Port
mean,
Hope landmark.
a Port Hope landmark, I would say. How many times have you guys been here?
Have we
Seen it
been there
again.
to shoot or to
No,
drink?
just to drink.
Well, not so much in the past decade, but when we were like 20 to
That's what I
25,
was going for.
pretty frequently I would go to the Ganny, yeah. But that's the point of this that particular scene, which is like the characters sort of come back together at the Ganny, and there's even kind of a joke in there where he says, "You never liked going to the Ganny." Well, it's supposed to reference any small town bar, like it's not the Ganny just itself, but when you live in an area. You grow tired of those landmarks, and you sort of, at some point, probably think you're a little bit better than those landmarks.
All
And
right.
then there's a point where the nostalgia comes back, or at least the appreciation comes back. And then you can go back and go like, no, I don't mind going to the Ganny again now. And that's what that scene's about. And that's why we picked that spot. Also, Rick, who owns the Ganny, who still owns the Ganny, super, super nice guy, lovely dude. And he, you can ask him for anything and he'd give you the shirt off his back. So it was an easy location for us as well.
Yeah,
So I
I had to fight with them to give them. We said like we have $100 left in our budget. We give you $100, and I just sort of had to fight with the guy that I'm like, no, take the $100, please. That's how
so
great they were about it.
how was it returning that to the Ganny?
Well, it
Uh,
was a fortuitous night because we you never know, right? Like we asked if we could come one night. It was like a weekday night because we tried to pick a night where there wasn't going to be a lot of people there. We don't want to get a bunch of sign off. And it happened to be like the point of the evening that it was actually empty. So we brought again all our coffee shop friends and their like friends and partners fill it up there. So it was kind of cool to like go in there and have the run of the place. We said to them, we're gonna hop on stage for 5 minutes. We'll get our shot. We'll get off because we don't want to be a nuisance. They got other stuff going on. We're like, now guys, have free run of it. Do whatever you need to. So like similar to Aaron, I haven't been there in 15 years or so. Like when I was at a college, I'd go there with friends, and that would be it. And yeah,
Well, I won't give the details, Aiden, but I'm very certain the last time you were there before that, you got kicked out.
I don't know whether someone tried to. I don't know if I got kicked out.
You don't have to, listen, you don't have to explain why I'm saying that. I'm just pretty certain you got kicked out.
Perhaps I wouldn't remember it if not.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's like I said, it's fun to yeah, it's cool to like every town has this kind of landmark, right? And being able to like spotlight ours and go back to it and use it in a really fun way and use it in a way for us is just a neat thing to be able to accomplish.
Okay, we're off to fun questions now. I think I've covered the whole film. I don't think there's anything I missed. If there is, please tell me now. I think I did a good job.
You've been thorough, and I'm sure we'll think of something as we go here.
Yeah, okay. Now, Aaron, you're a movie fanatic. I know you are just by the way you talk about things.
For
Me and you
better
could
or for
probably
worse, yeah.
have like a 14-hour conversation and still have more to talk about
Sure.
film. Answer one film you have still not seen. And Aiden, same question for you.
Well,
One
I'll jump
film.
in first so Aaron can think about it because he might need some
Yeah.
time. There's lots of films like I said, I haven't seen Altered States.
I
I
wouldn't call
don't
that a big
know.
one.
No, well, what's my biggest omission I've never seen? That's a good question because I'm a cinephile, I'd say as well, but I'm also one who's not always seeking out like the biggest hit from 1952 or something like
See,
that.
that's me.
Yeah, I know. Like here's a small example I thought is that I bought The Sound of Music years ago, and I have yet to ever watch it.
Well, really?
Yeah, I own it. It's sitting on my shelf downstairs. I have a nice
Aaron,
Blu-ray of
go
it.
over to his house and just put the thing on so you can know what the
Yeah,
fuck's
I think I
happening.
have it.
So you referenced them on traps. I don't own
Yes.
them.
My answer to that is that I don't know if I could name a specific movie, but the what I find is that I have gaps in directors. So like I
Yes.
haven't seen enough Ingmar Bergman. Like
Neither have I.
I should see more of that because when we talk about somebody like that, we think it's homework, but in actual fact, like he made kind of some of the movies were kind of fantasy movies and some of them were comedies. And so I need to get over that sort of hump and go, yeah, no, I'll go and rent them or see them on Criterion or whatever
Oh,
and dig in there.
now you've hit on my thing. If you listen to my show, I do it one director until I'm done, and then I move
Right.
on to the next one. So I am doing exactly what you said, filling in my gaps. I don't care what they've done. I'll watch it. Right now we're doing Minelli, which
Oh
nobody
yeah.
does. So I'm watching every Minelli film I haven't seen. So I think I got about 15 left. My buddy's killing me. He's terrible. I would not recommend it to anybody.
So where
But
are you at?
I'm at Cobweb, so I'm 1955. So I've done all
Oh,
the dance movies. So now
so
I'm in
that's
the
got to be getting to the
melodrama.
end, right?
Yes, I'm getting the melodrama movies.
But
Yeah, yeah.
isn't there something so gratifying though about just like when you watch as many movies as like we do and your audience does and the people you do, right? When you still discover something, it's like the greatest feeling in the world, right? It's like, oh my God, how have I lived my life without enter movie name here? And then it's just like it fills you up.
Okay, question number two. Besides Port Hope, where's the next place you guys are going to shoot? Or is it ever going to be outside of Port
It's
Hope?
gonna be another town in Northumberland.
So Petric's
Well, so
Corners?
we've done a lot of
We've shot
shooting in
lots of
Petrick's
Patrick
Corners. Yeah.
Corners.
What I would say is that, and this is a kind of a general lesson to anybody that wants to make movies, at the level that we're doing, like just going out and doing it and trying it out, is that if you build good enough relationships in the community that you're from, then using your area does not feel like your hands are tied in any way. In fact, it's very liberating because we're in a very advantageous position where if we said to somebody we knew that owned a building that we wanted to shoot on the top of the building, they would go, yeah, sure, guys, you're the guys that do that. And so in some ways we have more options than if you went to Toronto and tried to film, because you got to deal with permits and you got to deal with all these people that don't want to be in the movie, and you got to deal with safety. And not that we're not safe, but you know what I'm saying. It's like there's a size of production that you get to, and a profile of production that you get to when you get to a bigger spot. And so we will continue to shoot this area until we can't shoot it anymore. But who knows? Like we had a script for a long time. I don't know what will become of it, but it was a road trip script, and the whole idea was that we would stop in different places, and that was the production value of the movie, which is, how all road trip scripts work, but this had a bit of a twist to it. But anyway, that's something we could do down the road, is we could stop in different places and kind of show off Canada a bit.
Yeah, but to Aaron's point, like our community we develop here too, right? It gets people enthusiastic about being involved. So you're never in a position where you're putting someone out. Like if you want to use a restaurant, if you want to use a store, whatever, right? People are excited to be involved now. They've seen, especially like you work in an area, people see you sort of develop and grow. And so like our second episode is shot around the Baltimore area and the farm in Port Hope. Our third one shot around Port Hope and all in Brighton as well. It's yeah, it's like we're like Aaron said, we're gonna shoot this place out until until it's
And
done.
what I would also add to that is that I also think that this is the future of movie making, because we're losing the middle, right? We're losing middle, like you can make a movie for nothing, which I guess is where we're at. We're still, micro budget. You can make a movie for nothing, or you can make a movie for like $200 million, but we're losing the middle. And the future then is to figure out how you can do that micro budget thing in a smarter way. Like one of the big influences on me personally over the last couple of years was a movie that actually premiered the same year at Fantasia that our short did, Colin Carvey, which is Hundreds of Beavers, which is
Oh,
a
great
movie that was
film.
made by, yeah, right, great movie, hilarious silent film, guys in like beaver costumes. And the what I would say about it is like that proves to you what movies can be going forward, because they made that movie for $200,000, which is nothing to make a movie, and then they four-walled it. Like they did the festival run, but then they actually went out and they presented the movie in front of people to make the money on it, and they ended up making like millions of dollars on it. And not that the only goal is to make $1 million, but you have to have a sustainable model. Like we need to you live, right? And so that's something that I could see this kind of thing that we're doing here, which is making movies in Port Hope, growing into. That we make a movie and we go on the road with it, and that's how we, it's like being a traveling, performer, like you would have in medieval times. It's kind of cool because we're going back to basics in some way.
Yeah, we're like the acting troupe in the Seventh Seal, right? We're just dragging our wagon along.
Hey,
So,
Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah.
there you go. Second last question. Beside Olympus Burger, where else should I eat in Port Hope?
So, do you have an answer to that, Aiden? Aiden is vegan, so he's got
Yeah,
very
it's a harder
Oh,
specific
one for me.
taste.
I could still Olympus Burger is still great because they have a vegan option for me.
they do?
Oh yeah. So Port Hope, there's a lot of good like pubs in Port Hope, Thirsty Goose, Beamish. If you're looking for something like little like elevated from that, places like Gusto are good. There's Ray Ray's great food truck. They don't have a lot, I think, vegan stuff, but if you're not, delicious food. Um, I think there's yeah, I mean Port
Well,
Hope's got a pretty good culinary scene. Gusto, I'd say as a plant-based person, Gusto is my spot.
That's fine.
Gusto is good. Thirsty Goose for pub food. They're good wings at Thirsty Goose. That's where I
Okay.
play trivia. But if you want, there's a raw oyster bar and like elevated stuff like tartare
Oh,
and stuff like that, beef tartare at the 26, which is the restaurant that is in the back of the what's the restaurant called
Social.
in
The
the
social.
social. Yeah, it's now all one restaurant, I'm told. But anyway, the social and the 26, that's the place to go.
okay. Before I let you go, Bell 5, how did we get on this? Tell me a bit more. When's it premiering? Let's get into it.
Sure. So how we got on it was that so Bell Five has this program to fund local programming, and we initially worked on a show called the Brawl Stars, which was, is that right? Brawl Stars? Yeah, Brawl
Brawl
Stars,
Stars.
which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, which was a show about it took place in Durham region, and it was a show where they these three guys reenacted fights that had happened in Durham region and then told the stories of the fights. And this is where we first learned that Bell 5 TV1 was handing out money to make this local programming. This sort of rolled forward. We ended up working on a show called The November Project, and another show called In the Line of Fire, and another show called, what's the
Racing for Hope.
Racing for Hope. Sorry, Lee, that's your show. And then we said, how do we take advantage of this in the nicest way possible, but also, like, it's an opportunity is really what I want to say. And we knew that we would want to do something that was very much us, and something that gave us an opportunity for me to take some material that I had stewing for a long time and produce it. And so we applied, we did a pitch, and then they came back 9 months later and they said, do you still want to do the show? We had done the 2 shows in the interim, like as producing teams and just working on the crews. And then we were off to the races, and we did this over the course of a year. Where it premieres, it's Bell 5 TV1, which is on your Bell box. So if you're a Bell subscriber, you get this. It's like in the local programming section, and it premieres on August 6th. But that's not the only premiere. That's where it premieres on the box, but we are also doing a hometown red carpet premiere at Ganaraska Brewing in Port Hope, also on August 6th. And that's at 8:30, and it will be we'll have much of the cast and crew there. We're going to do a Q&A. We'll have popcorn and door prizes and stuff.
Open to the public.
Open to the public, and it is a kickoff to Port Hope's Arts Weekend, which is that weekend. So that's the story.
Yeah, and I'll just say, so on August 6th, all 4 episodes drop at the same time. So if you want to sit there and binge it, it's about an hour and 20 minutes if you watch them all back to back to back. Like I said, 4 episodes, first 3 about 20, last one's 15, and it's made up of 5, short films, let's say, within it that are.
I was gonna say, I'll tease it. So, like, as we said, this first one is this romantic sci-fi comedy thing. The second one is a medieval time travel family drama. The third one is a sort of comedic, kind of inspired by the Talented Mr. Ripley, like a thriller, but with a comedic element. And then our last episode is our potpourri episode. So we ended up taking a couple of shorts that we had produced, and one of them is a kaiju short, so like inspired by Godzilla, and the other one is basically Evil Dead in Port Hope. It's like a
Awesome.
ghost story. Yeah.
Okay, before I let you go, one last thing, and Aaron, just try to do quick if you could, just because
Sure.
we're out of time. Thank you. Where can anybody find your productions? Where they want to look at, maybe get a hold of you?
Sure. Well, the easy answer is www.twoblueshirtsproductions.com. That's our website.
Perfect.
And that's the best way to get a hold of us. Yeah. And you'll see a bit of our stuff there, like you see our reel, but we chat with us and we'll send you lots of more stuff to see. So
Thank you, guys. It's been a blast as always. I'll see you soon.
Thanks so much for having us.